So what we need to do for ourselves and for our clients, as we're training to become successful coaches, not average coaches, grow model, no. Transformation, yes. The transformation is help your client reclaim, reconnect, and restore every emotion. You guys are going really quiet. Is that because it's super cool? Processing? Yeah. So now you're thinking how? How am I doing? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah. So now I'm going to slow down that. Is it okay we've dived in so deep, deeper than I have in any other city? Is that okay? You seem to be doing, okay. So there are 3 steps to everything you do as a successful coach. I want to use the board now, but when we didn't get a second board, did we? Glam? We didn't get a second board, did we? They're working on it? Yeah. Inverted commas? I'll say it out loud. So step 1 is awareness. So everyone in the room who's just rushed to tell me how, I'm going to share something that will really help you connect with you. Acceptance. And then finally, the how, activation. There are 3 steps to transformation, not 1. It is not how do you do it, how do you do it. It is not give me the list of things to do. It is not do you have a script for that, although you can use that. Let me share with you how this works and my philosophy around this. If I'm working with a client, or if I'm working with myself, and I want to experience a different reality, what's causing my current reality? Tell me.
Thoughts.
My what? My thoughts. Only one person said that. Come on, guys, do better than this. We're full in now. We've only got 2 sessions left. It's thoughts. It's my perceptions. Habits. Conditioning. Programming. You got it. So, all I've written on the board is awareness, acceptance, activation. Just 3 words with arrows going up. So if we get with a client and we start action coaching them, what is it you want to do? What are the things you could do? Tell me the things you're going to commit to. What's the first thing you can do? We're going to get them stuck avoiding what? Conditioning, programming, thoughts, everything you just said. Are you following? Yes. If you jump the client to just do something, you haven't helped them expand their what? Yes. You're getting it. So the next time you coach them, guess what you're going to do if you do the same thing? You're not. If you keep coaching the crappy way, what are you going to get? You're just going to say, what's the next thing you want to do? And nothing here is changing. Are you following? Yes. Now, that's okay coaching. That's called action coaching. Transformational coaching, this type of coaching is, I would rather the client has, and I'll talk to acceptance in a moment, I'd rather the client had a greater awareness which gave them greater what? Understanding. What else does it give you? If you have a greater awareness of the situation, greater insights, gives you greater choices. I would rather increase my client's choice than just help them with the 1 step. How are we doing with this? Because now they're going to the next situation able to take the steps without me. I don't want reliant clients. So awareness is key. And everyone says, well, how do I do it? How do I do it? How do I do it? I'll get to the how when you have awareness. I have awareness. I know I've got this problem. I've got to get rid of this problem. So what aren't they dealing with? They say, I've got to get rid of this problem. Where have they ignored? I'm hinting. They're ignoring acceptance. Yeah, I'm aware I've got the problem. Just tell me how to get rid of it. I'll be fine if I didn't have the problem. Hang on. But if we move our client to acceptance, that the problem is here because we haven't grown yet, how am I doing? The client can begin to think about, well, maybe I shouldn't keep rejecting this problem. Maybe there's something about this I can... There it is. And as I begin to learn and accept, it's not what do you do or what can you do, it's who are you being, which is the awareness piece. Which parts of you are you rejecting? Come on, there's a beautiful coaching question. In acceptance, what are you rejecting to have this problem? Yourself. Aspects of yourself. There'll be an emotion. So let me give you an example of this. I was raised to not have access to anger. Anger was banned in my family for girls. Dad could get angry. Who can relate to that? I'm never alone with that one. Dad could get angry and Dad could be disappointed in me, but I could never do it the other way around. I was never allowed to be angry or disappointed with him. That was like, you felt, who relates to that? It's like tons of us get that.
Or cry.
You weren't allowed to cry. Certainly, I'll give you something to cry about. Did you ever get that one? Yeah. That's a really shitty thing to say to a kid. So in those moments, so that's an example. I had anger denied. Some of you had crying denied. I had that one as well. And disappointment. What other emotions were denied as you were growing up? Who?
Expression.
Expression. So what do you mean by expression? That's not necessarily emotion. What does?
I love to talk.
Huh?
I love to talk.
You love to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And growing up, my mom bought a photo that says, "To not like to talk too much, shut up."
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
Because I talk a lot.
Oh, wow. That's not the reason why the sign went up.
So,
Stop. May I coach you just for a moment? May I? So you said a sign went up?
yeah, it's my mom.
And you said it went up because I talk too much.
Which that's what I was telling.
Yeah, that's not why the sign went up.
Okay.
Why do you think the sign went up?
She couldn't handle it.
Oh, let her do it. Then we're doing it again. Session one, right now. Thank you for your enthusiasm.
I've got triplets.
You relate to it.
to the mother who couldn't handle all the talking.
Yeah. So what do you think is close to the truth? Why do you think your mother put the sign up?
Because I talk too much, is what she said. Because I couldn't, well, she couldn't handle it, not me. She couldn't handle it.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. So who was it really about?
Her.
Yeah. But when you're a kid, everyone's answering for the client. It's like. So it was never about you, it was about her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, how do you think she was raised? Oh, guys! Oh, goodness! They all know. They all know your mother. How do you think your mother was raised?
In the recent years, when I talked to her about her childhood, she was not raised by her mom. She was raised by her maternal grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And the culture was so oppressive because kids are not meant to be heard.
They only meant, to be seen, not heard.
So
Yeah, that's how I was
she
raised.
Raised worse.
And how do you think your maternal grandmother was raised?
The same way.
Yeah. How do you think they were raised?
Same way. Generational.
Mm.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? So I call it the tribal cycle. Then when I'm coaching you, I'm not coaching you, I'm coaching a tribal cycle that taught you what you said, which is the sign went up because I talk too much, instead of the sign went up because she couldn't handle it. Notice the difference? Yeah. It's massive. Now, I'm loving your mother right now. And because I'm going to now move to acceptance, we've moved to the awareness piece. That's step one of coaching. Well, let's do part two, may we? Sure. Thank you. Isn't she wonderful?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. If we move to the acceptance piece, I'm going to be loving your mother right now. Why do you think that is? Can I open this one up to the room? Is that okay? They all know her. Why am I moving to I'm loving your mother right now?
She can't get what
She did the best.
She can't get what she can't have. Yeah?
She has made a difference in this.
No, I'm not doing that. No, just on the information I have.
She did the best she could with what she had.
She did the best she could do based on what she knew at that time.
We did a whole thing on tribal cycle, guys. The information is there. So why am I digging your mother right now? Acceptance of. She needed to hear this. And now I'm digging your maternal grandmother, and why?
She didn't get to hear it.
Because they never got to hear it. You guys getting this?
Yeah.
We're all victims of victims. None of us have it made. But if we find a perpetrator, we think we can blame. And I'm not saying you are, you're not. But if we have a perpetrator and think we can blame, we've now placed the problem where? Outside of ourselves. How am I going answering your question? So if we put it outside of ourselves, we don't have to do anything about it. It's my damn mother. If she changed, I'd be okay. But aren't we asking for generations of tribal cycle to somehow transform? Hang on. Rather than just, it stops with me. Do you feel the difference? Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, but you just said it.
Good on me.
Breaking the cycle of this.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Because
You're rushing here.
if I was raised up that way, so my mother and whoever was before her have been following the same cycle. Today, I'm going to stand up. I have identified the problem. I have become aware of the situation, and I decide, hang on, I'm not going to accept this to be carried on for the following generations. I'm
going to pause you there.
Yes, please.
Appreciate the enthusiasm.
Okay.
Love it. Love the enthusiasm. I'm pointing at acceptance right now for those of you in the cheap seats. It's not, I'm not going to accept it. It's, I am. Bear with me. I'm so going to get you here. Everyone wants to rush me to activation is what I'm pointing to. Everyone wants to rush to, I'm not going to take it anymore, I'm going to change it. I get that. The whole day is going to get us there. But the way we do it, where we keep rushing to, how do I going to change it? I don't want that anymore. I want to get rid of that problem. It isn't working. Has anyone noticed that? Yes or yes? Yes. It doesn't fucking work. Try this way. So it's not, I'm not going to accept it anymore, is I am. I am. Now I'm going to show you how. Am I still answering your question? Yeah, beautiful. So, unfortunately, I'm using the board again. Can we get, is there another board?
It is.
Can you guys, can you follow what I'm doing?
They have already been.
Okay, you ready? You have to do exactly as I do it. You have to do exactly,
I'm so sorry.
oh, that's okay. So, you have to do exactly as I'm doing it.
Sorry.
Oh, you can see me now, it's all good. You have to do exactly as I'm doing it. There we go, now we're ready. Right. So, you're going to draw 2 lines up. It's one of my favourite models that I teach. The line on the left is self. The one on the, I assume the right is the other one, is the problem. And if you need to see it over there, it should be the same. Glam knows this model. It's the amazing Glam. Glam, did you enjoy your messages and your phone calls and the videos? Yes? Well, you're here, so I assume you did. Yes?
Yes.
That's the woman who did it all. She's amazing. And an amazing team. So, there's self and there's problem. So we have a problem. I'm not going to accept it anymore. The problem's here. Our self-development, that was about midpoint, Glam. And let's say we, in terms of awareness, is here. Point 1, down low. How does the problem look to us? Manageable? No. It's not looking manageable. It's looking massive. The problem's way up here, and I'm here with my awareness. It's going to look overwhelming. Yes? What else? Unobtainable, unresolvable, looming, paralyzing. Fantastic. So we think, I've got to get rid of the problem. What's the flaw with that? Anyone?
Sometimes you can't.
Well, sometimes you can't, but let's take it out of the context. So the problem's at this level, and now thinking's at this level, and we think the problem needs to go, and that will solve it. What are we not addressing?
Awareness.
Ourselves. Let's say we raise our awareness and start realizing there's a tribal cycle here, and my mother was just doing what she was taught. Has the problem perhaps redefined itself a little bit? A little bit? Yeah. What if I get a little bit more awareness and realize she was projecting onto me her own stuff? And because she didn't know how to handle herself, she tried to make it about handling others and controlling others. How's the problem looking now?
Later.
Is it looking what? Manageable? Almost manageable? What else? There's more understanding around it?
Become more objective.
Pardon? Get more objective about it? I love that. That's also part of it. That can happen as well.
It's disappearing as a process.
It's starting to stop being. But now we're going to move to acceptance. We haven't even got there yet. What if we can accept, in this example, that my mother literally lived in her own hell? Less of an Australian accent? I hear you. I get that. What if we moved to acceptance and began to accept that our mother was living in her own version of hell? Pardon? Well, don't rush there. That's an activation. Let's not forgive yet. Fuck that, man. I'm not ready to forgive. We start moving to empathy, which to me, I'm starting to see her as an equal. Because she was living, I'll come there, she was living in her version of hell, where she couldn't allow you to fully express yourself. You fully expressing you somehow diminished her. That's the hell she lived in. That if you expressed you, somehow she couldn't be her. What kind of hell does she live in? That is really messed up. Do you get that? So now we're starting to move towards equality. I'm seeing you now as someone I can relate to. What's happening with empathy now?
Growing.
Growing? Yes? You guys are going really quiet. You're just thinking really... I can hear the cogs. Keep it down. Yeah? Which can only begin when we begin to move through to acceptance. It's the only way we can see ourselves in someone else's shoes. Yeah?
When you raise your awareness, you have...
Speak up.
When you raise your awareness, you have your family also.
Absolutely. When you raise your awareness, it's amazing how many problems seem to resolve themselves. When you change, others change. Exactly. Now we're going to move to acceptance. We're going to go up another dot. We're now equal with the problem. How do we now see the problem?
Same level.
Same level. Wonderful.
Manageable.
Starting to look manageable.
Can handle.
I can handle it. I can handle it. I wonder what happens if we do this. We outgrow it. What happened to the problem now? Our problem seems smaller than our mother's, because whilst you know the pathway out, your mother will die never. Your mother will die with that problem. You have a choice. How is it looking now? Talk to me. Sad. That's really great insight. How is that problem looking now? Pardon? Not a problem. How else is it starting to look?
There's compassion for me.
Speak up.
There's compassion now.
Compassion. That's exactly it. Now I feel compassion towards her, thinking she's trapped in that. And I now see it differently. I'm now outside what's called the drama cycle. This is 5 coaching sessions. I'm answering your question. Yeah?
Probably at this level, I have stopped judging her because
Beautiful.
of that problem. And it is
Wonderful.
the way when you stop judging somebody, the level of your empathy increases.
Wonderful.
You look at the problem differently, you look at the person differently, your self-esteem increases, your power increases, and you know, yes, I can handle situations like this.
So the next time you meet someone who goes to shut you down, do you think you'd look at it differently? Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. But based on the way I've answered your question, do you see how you'd have to handle the next time someone tried to shut you down differently? You'd have a voice, but you'd also know where they're coming from. So the next time someone tries to shut you down, what do you now know about them?
It's about them.
What is it about them? They're coming from a place of hurt. Beautiful. What else do you now know about them? They're vulnerable. What else do you now know about them?
Damaged soul.
Huh? They're projecting their stuff onto you. What else do you now know about them? They are not your problem. I love that. What else do you now know about them? That's all they know. What else? This is epic. They need healing. Digging it? How's that towards becoming a successful coach? That space you're in now. That's the space for coaching. Love it. Yeah.
I have a question.
Great.
So, moving away.
But it wasn't you, so I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. Your writing's getting faster. I love it. Yeah, go ahead.
My
I think
question
that's
is,
funny.
in terms of moving away from yourself or the coachee or the client,
Moving
when
away.
you start talking about the mother in a more compassionate way, so the risk is that if you go too fast, you may be looking for excuses, and where's it leading
For the mother.
Yeah.
What's your question?
My question is,
I think I'm getting where you're going, but I really want to help you, and I can tell there's something there you care about, so I want to have that.
I care about the client,
Yeah.
not the mother.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're all good. I'm just thinking of the best way of serving you. What's your name?
Adriana.
Adriana. Keep the mic. Maybe have a conversation. I know. Maybe have a conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you. Could you read my mind right now? Because the answer in my head's really, really cool. I'm just having trouble articulating the coolness that is there. Here we go. Not really? Okay. Turn those powers off for the day? I understand. Needed a rest day? It's back tomorrow. Here we go. My responsibility as a coach is to serve that woman. To serve that woman, I will be an example of love, even in its absence. I will love more when it's absent. I will stay compassionate in the face of her mother's lack. Because me demonstrating to my client that judging someone else is going to help her in any way isn't going to help her.
Right?
I think I almost, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I care about everybody in her tribal cycle because she's hooked in the tribal cycle until she feels neutral about the tribal cycle. Yeah, that part of her. And you can't get to neutrality until you get to acceptance. So I've got to walk my talk, Adriana. I walk my talk for my clients so they can have through me a demonstration of, I'm going to be love no matter where you're at. I'm going to hold you and everyone connected with you regardless of where you're at. And that remains a constant. And I learned this from the, is it the little soul? The soul that went to heaven? Do you guys know this story? Yeah. Neil Donald Walsh? This is where I learned this many years ago. Thank you for your beautiful question. I'm going to totally butcher someone's beautiful work right now. We can edit. It's all good. So, a little soul went to heaven and went to God and said, I want to know myself. And God said, you're everything. What is there to know? But I want to know all of me. What do you want to know? Well, I'm going to cry when I tell this story. That's okay. We're all safe hands. I want to know love. And God said, okay, if you want to know love, I'm going to send you down to earth. And in the moment of your most trusting, when you feel the most love and you're with someone who you believe you can trust the most, I'm going to have them strike you down. And in that moment, if you still love, you will know love. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the little soul goes down. And of course, you forget. What would be the point of remembering that cool message? Thanks, God. So goes down and he's with someone who he just trusts and loves completely. And the moment of him giving his heart over, and that moment of the most vulnerability, when it mattered the most to him, that great friend struck him down. And he either remembered it, that he was loved in this moment, because it's easy to love when you're loved, it's fucking hard to love when you're hated. And in that moment, he either remembered it or he was doomed to repeat it. I'm freeing my client from being doomed to repeat it. Thank you for your great question. Sharon actually sells. I'm just going to take a moment. Isn't that story beautiful? So the true story is Neil Donald Walsh. I've just told it.
Neil.
Donald Walsh. I've just chosen. It's 5 pages. It's beautiful. Thank you for your question. Did that serve? Yeah.
I would like to ask something.
Sure. Yell it out.
So you were saying to become neutral to your parents' situation or something like
That's
that.
our goal.
But how do you become neutral when you know that your mom or dad still suffers?
Yeah. So I'm about to go to the activation part. And I appreciate your questions are on how and how. Do you hear how the questions are how do you? Are you hearing it? Yes?
Yes.
I'm going to say again, our job is to get firstly to acceptance. So that story was an example of acceptance. Because until we move to acceptance of what is, we're not really going to change it because our thinking's going to stay the same and we're just going to lean into the problem and think, if I force this enough, you'll eventually see it my way and you'll stop being so awful to me. It doesn't work that way, does it? Is it working? Will it ever? No. We can't. That's controlling. We might control through people pleasing. If I'm sweet enough to you, you'll eventually like me. It's still a version of control. So I'm going to stick with acceptance and then we'll get to activation. Now, there was a question here. Yeah.
I just want to know, is part of acceptance also responsibility for your part of it?
Yes. Not as a child.
No, but as an adult.
Yes.
Continue that way of thinking you've identified.
Your responsibility as a child is to be a child. And that's it. And we're done. That was the whole list. Responsibilities, job description of child. Be a child. End job description. Terrible pay. Really. But you're mostly a rookie. Some benefits. Exactly. Good benefits.
At what age do you have to grow up?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got to 37 and thought maybe I should try. I'm 54 and I texted Mum the other day, I just did an adult thing. She said, be careful. My mum's 74, she goes, I'm not planning anything like that soon. So I think a lot of what we do is getting back to being a child. It's not about lack of responsibility, it's about being fully ourselves as much as we can, because a child's job is to be fully themselves. So I'll come to your question about adult responsibility. So this is my metaphor for that. There's a puddle. What does the kid do, like a fully embodied kid, when they see a puddle? They're going to splash. And what are all the adults doing when they splash? And then what does the adult do when they see the puddle?
Jump over it.
Go around and bitch about it. So child's job is for us to experience spontaneity. There's a list coming. Here we go. So a child is spontaneity, love,
And innocence.
warmth, innocence, curiosity, love, playfulness, adventure, risk-taking, creativity, courage, all of that. That's naturally a child. Our role as big people is to help a child actualize all of that fully. Every emotion without filter, without censorship. What's our responsibility as an adult? I believe our number one responsibility as an adult is to live fully our best selves as much as we can. As much as we can. With as many people as we can, as many moments as we can. And every time we shut ourselves down, prevent ourselves doing that, it's another moment where we didn't take responsibility for why we're really here. Is to be fully actualized as ourselves. That's what I believe. Now, responsibility for transformation. It's not on my mum. I'm the one who's saying I've got the problem. Yeah? Yes? Yes. So I'm the one who's saying I've got the problem. It's on me to do something about it. And now let's tie into the neutrality. As we go higher on the scale, do you think we get less, more? What happens to our emotional activity as we get higher on our awareness and acceptance? Which way does our emotional hooks go? Up or down? They go down. That's what I mean by neutrality. It's getting to a place where we don't get hooked by everything our family does. Does that make sense? Are you following?
Yeah.
And now you want to know how. I know. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. Yeah.
I have a question about acceptance. What if the client has so many things that happen that they can't get to acceptance because the things are unjust or unfair?
Yeah. Yes. And that's very much what happens.
And it keeps them depreciating sense of self.
That's a great question. Did everybody hear the question? You guys are just full on. The questions I got in LA. Where'd you get your jacket? Intro, if you're wondering.
Great jacket.
It is a great jacket. Intro, thank you. Now, your question, however, was not about the jacket. If your client has been so traumatized by a childhood event, you should refer them on. We're not here to coach someone who is that debilitated that it's manifesting as a mental issue. So that's the first thing. We refer on. We don't coach that which is beyond the realms of coaching. That would be the first thing. But you're talking to somebody who's with...
The concept of unjustness, like inequality and unfairness, which if you stand for that sense, is something that's important to you, your sense of self as well. Which says
Are you talking about you or your client?
I'm talking about me.
Yeah. We kind of suspected that because
I was trying to frame it as a client.
So, where's the inequality?
So, I'm thinking about
Where's the inequality?
family,
Yeah.
family,
Where's the inequality?
history. Yes.
Where's the inequality?
Feels like everywhere. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you can't specify it. It just doesn't feel just.
Yeah.
So you say, may I coach you a little bit on this? Is that yes?
Yes.
So when you ask your client, can I coach you, if they say sure or that'd be fine, or if they don't say yes, you don't coach. It's either yes or it's no. Yeah, sometimes you get someone in the audience saying, do what you want. Yeah, I don't want. I'll be over here with someone else. So it's got to be a clean yes. Because otherwise, to your question about responsibility, the client's not taking anything on. Yeah, sure, do what you want. It's not what you do, but it can become, yeah, sure, you can coach. Becomes energetically what? Where's responsibility for change just got placed? On you. On me. Sure. Yeah, no thanks. So is it okay if I coach? There we go. Yeah. So do you guys get the power of yes? Yeah. It's the yes or it's no, but it's nowhere, nothing else. Everything else is them saying, I'll see if I like what you say. And from the menu of things you say, I may select something. So they're dodging before you've begun, which goes to your business in session 1. It's another way to divert attention from self. Thank you. Where's the injustice?
So I was thinking about the history when you're looking at how it's kind of from generation to generation, and I look at especially class inequality and thinking about how...
Whoa. Okay. So I'm coaching you, and you are bringing to your session the planet. Give me a tip. I'm going to need a little longer. We can do it. We're amazing together. That's not what clients do. Clients bring their issue to their session. They don't come saying to me, can you resolve inequality on the planet?
But the thought of that...
You negated me. So I'm going to say it again so it's heard, because you haven't moved to awareness yet.
Yeah.
The but just rejected what I said. So clients come to me to get coached for them, not for others. So you've moved to awareness there. Now acceptance. Do you see, if you come to a coaching session and ask me to help you with people I've never met yet, You're asking to set me up for failure. Yes?
Yes.
That's acceptance. So now let's move to activation. How could you do that differently so it's impactful for you? And we have just reached a wonderful impasse in coaching. Can I just share with the room what just happened? I trust you got value from this podcast. We had so much fun and delighted in bringing it to you and for your loved ones. If you haven't yet, your subscription would be absolutely fantastic. Your subscription and your feedback means that we get to rate higher. If we get to rank higher, more people get to hear this message. You can also help out if you'd love to, once you subscribe, by sharing this podcast with someone who you believe this message may resonate with and create a discussion around it. Just enjoy it and interact with it however you choose, but most importantly, we'd love your subscription. See you at the next episode.